righty then. Welcome, everybody. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everybody that's watching. Thank you all for tuning in today. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We'll get going here in a second or two, letting a few more people jump on. But why we are, I just want to tell you, the Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Festival is the first show of the year. It's the biggest show. It's at the Orange County Fairgrounds, the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. And it's going to be absolutely spectacular. Then we roll into the Del Mar show, and that's going to be absolutely spectacular. And then in April, Tiffany and I are helping them kick off the brand new California show that is going to be absolutely phenomenal. It's going to be super cool. The International Boat Show at the Anaheim Convention Center. But gang, you don't want to miss the PCS show. You don't want to miss. Tiffany will be there. David Bacon will be there. I'll be there. Then we'll roll into Del Mar. Then we're going to roll right in. We got an extra show this year, and it's going to be at the Anaheim Convention Center. So we'll talk about that a little bit. We'll talk about the PCS show. And as you all know, gang, I give away so much free stuff. Simply show up at the PCS show, show up at the Orange County show or the Del Mar show, or show up at the California International Boat Show. And if you're wearing any of my clothes, any hats, shirts, underwear, socks, you show up wearing my stuff, you get free stuff. That is just the coolest thing. We've been doing it for quite a while now. And thanks to all my sponsors. They give away just a ton of stuff to give to all of you. So check that out. Mike Lewis and Arnie and Daniel. Daniel will be along in a little bit. Hello, everybody. Happy New Year. If you guys have comments today for Kevin or for Tiffany, feel free to leave them on the side of the screen there in the comment section. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button like I talk about all the time. And Tiffany, why don't you introduce your friend to us?
Well, I have to introduce everybody to my friend Kevin. He's a phenomenal rod builder, fly fisherman, avid fly fisherman. And I brought him on today to kind of help everybody in the fly fishing world to talk about how he builds fly rods, kind of have him tell you about his story on how he got involved in rod building. And just a lot you can learn from him. He's also one of my students in my classes. He's one of the rising students that just does incredible work. So with that said, I'm going to mute myself out and hand you over to Kevin.
Okay, well, Kevin's way more than that. I'm sorry, gang. I'm going to jump in here too. Veteran, full on, seen it, done it, lived it. And there's so many veterans that watch this show on a daily basis. And I got to give thanks to Kevin for allowing us to do this show and allowing us to live in this land of the free and home of the brave because of men and women just like Kevin. That's why we get to do what we do. There's no better way than to start off the new year than with a fishing show about rod building with one of a true hero to the United States of America. And Kevin, I don't know if anybody's ever told you, but you are my hero.
Well, you guys are way too kind. I very much appreciate the intro and the thanks. And I will be honest and say that for the longest time, hearing thank you for your service was can be kind of an awkward thing for veterans, because a lot of us just have the mindset of we signed a piece of paper, we just signed a dot on the line, it's not anything special. But I had someone explain this to me in kind of a different way that really hit home, and part of it actually stemmed from the Vietnam era guys. I'll do a little family history and then we'll get into my side of things. My grandparents did amateur radio during Vietnam, and so I got some stories from them. And one of the things I always tell a Vietnam guy is welcome home, because they never got that. So for me, one of the things that I was told at one time, and it rings so true, is when someone tells me thank you for your service, typically my response is you were worth it. And I genuinely feel that I think America is such a special, unique country that, I just did my little part to keep America, America. So I very much genuinely appreciate your support on that.
Yeah, I want to just tell you, just like I met so many men and women working with War Heroes on Water, that you guys call it your little part. It's huge. What you guys have done is, well, I'm gonna say it. I'm a pussy. I couldn't go. I'm just a pussy. I would never even put myself in harm's way because I'm just a pussy. But you guys and the guys and gals that I've talked to, being involved with War Heroes on Water for the little bit of time that I have, I'm just blown away by the stories and by the just the camaraderie that we get when we get out there on the boats with you guys and gals at night, and we're sitting around telling stories, and you guys have the most incredible stories, and 90% of you have never even told these stories. So to get out there and fishing is the common thing that has saved my life. It saved Tiffany's life. It saved, and you're telling me earlier, it did a lot to change your life, like tying flies. When you're in that thing and you're tying that, it's just you and the fly.
In the zone.
You and the product that you're putting on the fly. But then when you get out on the river or the stream or the lake and that fly touches the water, I don't care what has gone on in your life. That is all you're thinking about is the bite.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a phrase in fly fishing that rings so true, that the tug is the drug. And when you get that tug on your line, that's what you live for. And it couldn't be truer. And I'm very much one of those too, that without fly fishing, I probably would not be sitting here in front of you guys. After my service in the military, and Tiffany and I started to kind of hint on this a little bit today earlier, that there's not really a good transition program out of the military. And I can only speak for my personal experience. I got out in 2015, and as a Marine, you take 13 weeks to go through boot camp. So they take you as, JOQ American to Marine in 13 weeks. So you go through a totally different mindset change. When I got out, I had a 1-week class that the first day was, here's a resume, here's a cover letter. The middle 3 days was Bureau of Labor Statistics saying, here are up and coming careers. And then Friday was, you have VA benefits. And then it basically was like, thanks.
Washed your hands.
So you had that 13-week transition period to change into the military mindset. But when you got out, there wasn't a change. And that's why there's so much struggle after people leave the service, because you just don't have that decompression time. And there are a lot of benefits, and I won't go down this road too much on that here. If there's any veterans that want to talk veteran benefits, please feel free to reach out to me afterwards, and we can talk through it. But that's why so many veterans struggle post-service, is you just don't have that transition time. Luckily for me, I fell into, really just stumbled. I Googled fishing programs for veterans because I grew up fishing. I enjoy it. So I just figured there's got to be something out there. And that's when I stumbled on an organization called Project Healing Waters. They work with a ton of veterans. Well, that's what they do, is they work with veterans to learn fly fishing, learn fly tying. And without the brotherhood and camaraderie of that program, and just the experience of fishing with like-minded people, I probably wouldn't be here. So I absolutely have to give props to fishing to giving me mental peace.
And can you talk about what you do to give back to the veterans? Because I thought that was very interesting. I know this is a fishing show. I understand that, gang. But what Kevin and I and Tiffany are talking about here is real life too. And fishing is such a integral part of Tiffany and I's life. And it's good to hear it from you and how veterans can get involved with what you got going on. And how they can get involved. There's so many different things out there, guys. Pick up the phone. I know the phone weighs a ton. It's just like I've been sober for 38 years, and we always joke, when it's time to make that phone call, that phone weighs 100 million pounds. And it's got to be the same thing for vets. You got the helps at the end of the phone line, but
you got to get to the phone line.
Well, we don't want to admit, men, women, we just don't want to admit that we need help.
Yeah. That's the hardest
ego.
part. Yeah. Yep. And as I've told several of my friends, and this goes for any veteran listening, get a hold, and we'll talk about how later, but get a hold of me. I would much rather talk you off. I would rather talk to you than go to your funeral.
Right. And that's the thing I learned about Kevin, is it's just so close that there's so many men and women out there walking around that are just right there. And I didn't know that. I didn't have any idea until I got involved with War Heroes on how close they are to ending it all. And it's because they, like you said, you don't know that you get debriefed for a week, and then you're thrown out in the public, and good luck. Have a good time.
Right. Well, and another big piece of this, unfortunately, I've got several. So I'm an only child. So the closest thing to siblings I've had are the men and women I've served with, and I've unfortunately lost several brothers and sisters post service, and they're part of that 22 a day. And the thing that I like to tell people about that probably isn't always really well understood is we have our military box, we have our family box, and we do everything we can to not let those two things touch, because we know what we went through in the military and what it's done to us, and we don't want to put that on our loved ones. And so that's a very, very hard thing. And I mean, selfishly for me, as an intel guy, 99% of the stuff that I did or looked at is classified. So who then do you talk to about what you saw? That kind of, so that's one of the hard things too, is we know what it did to us, and we don't want to do that to our family.
Right. That's an important message, and one you don't hear very often. So thank you very much for sharing that with our people. So let's get into how you've worked this thing out since 2015, and how important what you're doing is to help other men and women that are coming out of this.
Yeah, absolutely. So, specifically with the Project Healing Waters, it's a national organization. There's chapters, I think, in every state. And for us here in Indiana, during the warm months, we do a fishing outing every week or every month. And then during the cold months, we do a fly tying event. And what I have seen in the fly fishing world is, because fly fishing is such an active activity, you're constantly either manipulating the line as it's going down the creek, river, or stream, whatever you're in. The process of casting is much more active, that you've got to really focus in on what you're doing, and all the noise goes away. And even more so with fly tying. I've just got this one quick here with me. This will work for you guys out there on the West Coast. This is what's called a Clowers minnow. It is a saltwater fly, but it's also a bass magnet. So the circle on the card that I'm holding up is the size of a quarter. So that gives you an idea. And this is a bigger version of a fly that I tie. So, I mean, you're focused on something that's very small, and that makes all of the noise go away. So that's what fly fishing has done for me. And through my progression of fly fishing, I've gone from not just fishing to tying. And when you can figure out what's going on in the creeks or rivers to the point of you figure out what the fish want, that's a success in itself. Then you catch something on something you tied. That's an even bigger reward, which then leads me into my being in Tiffany's class is catching a fish on a fly you tied using a rod you built. I mean, you've done everything to make that a successful outing. It's 100% on you. And it's just super, super rewarding. And that's what got me into Tiffany's classes, that kind of the natural progression of where I'm at in my fly fishing journey is, you know, I create the flies or bait, whatever you want to call it, but now I'm ready to really dive in and start making the rods that I'm using to throw these flies.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's nothing more rewarding than tricking that fish into eating that fly. And then if you're using a rod that you made on top of that, oh my gosh, I can't even comprehend the way that I would describe it to everybody out there. There's just something about it. It's a zen thing. David Bacon, welcome, man. Happy New Year.
Well, thank you. Just got my got eye surgery yesterday, so I'm a little bit braille here today, you know. But
okay.
But I thought I'd find my way in here and say howdy and Happy New Year and all of that. And I like what Kevin's talking about, and you know, those feelings you're trying to describe, Captain Dave. That's just the heart of the matter for those of us that eat from the outdoors.
Right.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. And that's, I mean, so for me in the Midwest, it's bass, bluegill. Those are the main things. And, you know, you look at some of the conventional lures and it's like, okay, some of that stuff looks like fish. And then you pull up something like this that looks nothing like a fish, but yet you figure out that this is what they want to eat. Like just to be able to figure out the complete picture is so awesome.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. And talk about the thing about tying rods, tying flies, how that helps you to get out of your head and where your head takes you. That the worst place for me anyway is in my head. That's the scariest place in the world for me to be hanging out. So I'm assuming from the sobriety thing and the sober thing, it's kind of got to be that kind of the same way with veterans, because when we're in our heads, then that's a scary place. But if you can get out of your head, which is kind of hard to understand for most, how do you get out of your head when it's so cerebral, tying a fly or tying a rod? Well, Kevin, can you talk about that for a minute?
Yeah, for me, it's because you're so dialed in, whether it's fly tying or rod building. And I'm finding it even more so in rod building is you are so focused on the detail. And when you're focused here, everything out here doesn't matter because you're focused right here. And so when you can focus on something that's very detailed, and for me, rod building, fly tying, it's mission oriented. And I think that's something that veterans specifically, we struggle with after the military is we need that mission. And for me, building a rod completes that mission. It's the stuff I need to go complete my mission of catching a fish. And so, you know, when I'm wrapping guides for a S guide on a 4-weight, it's not something that's very big. And so you've got to focus really detailed. And then you get to the point where, you know, I've done 10 wraps on this side of the guide. I want to make sure that it's an even thing on each side of the even wrap on each side of the guide. So you just get so mission oriented and detail oriented that it makes all the other chaos go away.
Exactly. And it's so like Tiffany. Oh my God. She's such a master at this whole rod wrapping thing, but also, and help me out here, Kevin, the teaching part. She breaks it down so that we get it, we understand it. And then she's got more patience than anybody I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, absolutely. After what I think it was the second class when we went over all the different materials that make up the blanks and all that, I feel like I'm a bit of a mad scientist because I understand some of the science behind it now. So, I mean, but it's like all these fancy nano super unobtainium that's wrapped on this other, thing. But the way that she taught it made sense, and it was easy to understand. So I couldn't agree more and I understand that she's looking at me, and I'm not, I know I'm not getting a grade, so I'm not after extra credit here, but Tiffany truly is she's a student's teacher. She wants to make sure that the students understand the components. They understand what makes up the components, what you would want to use the different things for. And I'm very excited as I move through the class when we start getting really into some of these super decorative wraps. I look at a picture of them and I'm like, yeah, there's no way I'm going to do that. But just knowing the experience that I've had just going through already with the different materials that make up the blanks and all, it makes sense. And same thing with the actions versus power, because you watch, pick a show on TV and you'll hear the guy or gal fishing. Yeah, I'm using a 3X heavy medium power on this kind of. You're using what?
Yeah.
And now that I've been through her class, that all makes so much more sense now. And she is, so the class, I think on paper, the class is an hour and a half. I don't think any of our classes, because she's so willing to answer questions, I don't think any of them have stopped at an hour and a half because she wants to take the time to make sure that everyone fully understands. And I mean, even this last week, someone was having an issue with an order or getting something in on making sure they had the right pieces. And right after class, she walked them through, pulled up the website on her screen and walked them through everything. And at the end of it, oh, cool, got it now. And that's just impossible to find elsewhere. So no extra credit intended, but Tiffany is, and that's why I call her the boss, she's it.
That's what I keep hearing from so many of her students. Hey, you guys, I was thinking Daniel was going to join us here, and he may be along in a little bit, but let me show you what Daniel has done, him and his partner, Steve, with this ReelQuick reel seat system. And then right after we're done, maybe he'll jump on here, but Thursdays are sponsored by ReelQuick, gang. And I'm telling you what, this is cutting edge. This has changed the way that I fish from now until forever. All I want is all ReelQuick reel seats on my rods, because check this out. All right, gang, your saltwater guide, Captain Dave Hansen. We're down here at the Pacific Coast Sportfishing Show. And I'm with Daniel Rubin, the creator of the ReelQuick reel seat system. This is an amazing, amazing product.
You guys, check this out. ReelQuick Fishing is a dovetail connection. It is in the unlock position for simplicity here. Comes right off the rod with a dovetail connection. No more screws, no more clamps on the back. Goes on the rod just like that, and we can lock this in place. Turn of a pin. This is strong. This is not coming off of this rod. ReelQuickFishing.com. Dave, you want to add anything to this?
The really cool part about this is the simplicity of it. I fish hard all the time. I hold my rod the proper way. I know a lot of you don't. A lot of you have your hand back here. You always want to have your hand in front of the reel. That's the way that the whole design was made to do, is do it the right way. Normally, when you grab it the right way, you're dealing with the ferrule screws right here. And when you're grabbing it and undoing it, that screws keep coming undone. There's none of that happening anymore. It's a very easy system to use the right way. I was blown away when I saw this. I thought it would add a lot of weight to the rod. Actually, it takes a lot of the weight. It takes it away, gang. You'll be blown away at how this thing works and how how easy it is to come on and off the rod and everything else that has to do with it. Right now, Daniel's got tons of deals going on. He's going to take care of you. You follow this QR code at the bottom of the screen. It's going to get you in touch with Daniel's phone number. You're going to give him a call. He's going to tell you all the things he's got going on with the different prices. You can't. Oh, wait a minute. Here he is. Hold on a second. Daniel, you tell us all what's going on here. How's that sound? Oh, he was there for a split second. He's gone now. All right.
Well, he goes by too fast.
Yeah, he shared all that information. Did you guys hear it all? It was all shared right there. You missed it? All right. Well, Daniel, if you do come back, we'll bring you right back on. But you got to check out this ReelQuick, and you got to check it out by you going to the QR code. It'll take you straight to the website in his phone. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. He's going to come back.
I'm here.
Come on, Daniel.
Can you hear me now?
Hey, yeah, Daniel.
Can you hear me now?
We see you now.
Hey, happy New Year, you guys.
Happy New Year.
The second time I came on and there was some kind of a weird loop going on, I had to hang up.
All right. Well, you got the con, so go.
Well, I just wanted to come on here momentarily. I've been watching the show and I wanted you guys to just carry on with that. Just really good content you guys are doing. And thank you for playing the commercial. Year 2026 is going to be a really good year for us, all of us. Stand by on that, you guys. This is going to be a good year for the fishing industry.
Oh, I hope so, buddy. I hope so.
We're not hoping anymore, Dave. This is going to happen for us.
Absolutely, buddy. Absolutely.
I'm just over at the shop doing some content today. Got my little setup here that I've been kind of setting up the stage, and today we're going to do another show or another minute post on this lightweight rain shadow. I've been blasting and tagging Okuma. It's been working out really good with Mr. Brown, and we're going to do that some more today. But today we're going to include rain shadow blanks instead of the seeker stuff that we have. You know, plenty of seeker stuff going on over here, but we're going to talk about the rain shadow that we've been wrapping also. Here's some rain shadow. So
what do you got going on? You got deals on this stuff? What's going on?
We got deals on all this stuff right now. If anybody calls me, I will make a deal right on the phone. But we are giving 25% off on MSRP on all the rods that are built right now. And we're giving screaming deals on the reels. These reels are $384 MSRP with the ReelQuick foot on it. We're letting these things go for like $250 right now. Super good deal.
God, what a great deal.
Super good deal on these, right? At $250, we're just barely covering the cost on the foot and the reel, but we've got 15, I think, left of these, or 14 now. I just sold one the other day. And so, yeah, really good deal on these reels and the rods. So this isn't really a rod that you guys would want to fish. This is something for the tuna club. Look at this. Look at how this is a 4 to 10 pound rod with a very, very slow tip, as you guys can see. Let's see if you can see it this way. And how slow this tip is. Look at that. So this is made for these guys, for the tuna club, to fish with the linen line. And with the linen line, you need to have a reel with some capacity on it, right? It's a 4 to 10 pound rod, and we're putting a Tesoro 5NS on it. The reason why we're putting this reel on it is we can put about 400, just a little over 400 yards of 3-thread linen line on this. And that really slow tip is useful because that linen line breaks very easily. So what you need to have is a very slow parabolic blank that will take up and absorb the shock when you get a fish on there. Tiffany could probably tell us a little bit more about that. This is the same reel that Dave Hansen loves. This is the same reel that was fished in Alaska with this rod blank, which is a G270 25 pound rod. So this thing right here is a fish killer, an Alaskan fish killer. How many fish did you catch on this setup, Dave? It actually
don't know. Well over 300.
Well over 300 fish. That's a super fun couple of days of fishing, right? I did pick up the wrong rod.
I know a lot of people are gonna say there's no way. Well, we filmed the whole thing. It's all
we got
live.
plenty of footage on that. You know, there's always haters out there, Dave. We know that.
Yeah, no one gets more than me.
Yeah, there you go. Nobody.
No.
Well, we love you, Dave.
Hey, when you get 3 million views a month, you're gonna have a hater.
Or 2.
You know?
Very good.
Yeah. Hey, that's cool, Daniel. And I'm so excited that people can call you and they can find out all these deals, because if Daniel was to tell you all the different rods, all the different reels, and all the different feet that he has right now that he has on sale, the whole show would be Daniel.
Yeah.
Look at all
There's
that.
Plenty of gear, you guys. My phone number's on the top of every page on the website. I'm available. I will answer the phone anytime. Pretty much even if I'm asleep, I'll wake up and answer it. So call me, and talk about the gear. Let's go fishing.
And the proof's in the pudding, gang. I used that rod, and my 2 buddies that went with me to Alaska, that's the only rods we used in Alaska, were the rods that Daniel sent us up there with. We had 3 rods, and we fished 3 rods the whole time. I don't care if we were halibut fishing, if we were salmon fishing, if we were shallow water rockfish fishing. That's the only rods we used, buddy, and they worked phenomenal. So once again, thank you very much. And if anybody has any questions and you want to call Daniel, feel free. If you want to call me and ask me, really, did you catch? I'll send you the video of whatever we caught on those things. You'll see it. Pretty amazing.
A ling cod attached to a ling cod. That was a good one, right?
Hitchhiker.
Yeah, Dave Bacon's never seen that before. That's the first time it's ever been recorded in the history of fishing. A ling cod eating a ling cod, and I was there. It was incredible. So thank you for everything, Daniel, and thank you for all you do for Your Saltwater Guide.
Thank you, Dave.
And all right, gang, we will see Daniel down the line. He's going to watch, but what in the hell? I got to go there, Kevin, just for a minute, and then we'll come back to you. What in the hell is this blind guy doing on here? What are you doing, David?
I don't know. Let me feel around a bit and see. Hey, what I'm doing is I'm thinking, you know, we were listening to Daniel talk, and we were listening about how accessible he is. We were listening to Kevin talk about how accessible Tiffany is when you need some help. You can reach her. She can help you. Kevin is the same way with his students. Captain Dave, you were talking about somebody could call you and you'll send them that video. You know, what we've got here is something that I think is really important in the evolution of our industry, and that is accessibility. I mean, compare that to the cold shoulder, kind of cold-hearted, big website things, and I don't usually pick on names, but I'll mention Mudhole and others where you're not getting any help. Here's the website, order what you want. And I think this evolution of accessibility and willingness to help and willingness to put yourself into your students or your customers' mindset and help them with that is really a super important direction for our industry. It's gonna be a growth area. It's gonna be what makes certain people like Captain Tiffany, like Kevin, and like your big podcast, Dave, it's going to make a success. I think that's really important.
I think the fishing industry is bringing customer service back.
Slowly.
Starting right here. This group right here is bringing customer service back.
You know, it starts too with, you know, how many times have we seen on a party boat, the deckhands really kind of sidle up to a young kid who's out there first couple of trips and trying to learn, and they help the kid, you know, and then the kid falls in love with fishing, eventually maybe become a deckhand and then a captain. And it's that type of customer service that just is really important in our industry. And I get a little upset with those who forget the importance of that.
Yeah, that's been my main thing since I started my website, Your Saltwater Guide, and teaching everybody all this. Like Dave Bacon, there's plenty of places you can go and get spots and get GPS numbers, and there's books and there's all this stuff. But what we've done over at Your Saltwater Guide, we've taken it a step further. We don't only tell you the GPS numbers, but then we break down exactly how to fish the spot: uphill current, downhill current, onshore wind, offshore wind. When I break down all these things on there, I always say at the end, though, call me, and I give you my phone number. As long as you're a member of the website, you can call me anytime. My wife says, "Oh my gosh, everybody calls you." Well, that's how this industry has got to be built from the ground up. There's no more time to, figure it out on your own. I love those comments that on Instagram, why don't you just figure it out on your own like I had to? Well, first of all, no one figured this thing out on their own. Okay. You might have tweaked a little bit of what you learned, but somebody taught somebody. And that's why you're standing here today making a living doing it. But you didn't figure it out on your own. So put your ego in your pocket. Even Dave Bacon, someone showed him. He might have tweaked it a little bit, but someone showed me. I took it a little bit further and I gave away everything, all the secrets they taught me. But that is the key to this whole thing. Like Kevin said, that's the key to what we're doing today. And you can call Daniel, you can call David Bacon, you can call Tiffany, you can call Kevin, you can call me, and our phone numbers are available. Mine has been written on every bathroom wall in America, so you can always get a hold of me and tell me how much you hate me. I love those phone calls. That blows my mind. You won't even believe this. My phone number is everywhere, right? I don't care. And it's my own personal cell phone. We had a call last year about 9:00 at night. Kelly and I were watching Netflix. And this guy called me up. Now, get this. I put out 3 brand new videos every single day. Okay? Every single day. Doesn't matter if it's raining, snowing, 100 degrees. There's 3 videos that go out every single day, clockwork, for 5 years. This guy called me up and he said, I watch all your videos. I'm all, wow, that's amazing. Thank you. And he goes, I just want to tell you, I hate you. I'm all, whoa, that is absolutely incredible. I told him, you know what I've never done? He goes, what's that? I go, I've never watched anything I didn't like. I just changed the channel. We had this thing called a channel changer when I was young. And if you didn't like what was on, you changed the channel. I don't know what world we're living in today, but there's people think that I want to know that they hate me and they want to call me and tell me. But they watch all my videos. All I care about is if you watch them. I don't really care what you think of me. Just watch the video. Just watch
if he
it,
watched
right?
all your videos and hates you. I mean, that is a major commitment to hate.
Exactly. I love it.
And how many hours did he watch all these? How many hours did he spend watching your videos to turn around and call you and tell you he hates you, but he's watching all your videos?
Okay, the way I think it worked out is if the man watched all his videos, he probably got about 400 hours into Captain Dave Hansen's videos and said, you know, I hate this guy. He's having too much fun.
Enjoys life a little too much.
It's quite amazing the world we're living in today. We never would have ever thought in the 70s that we would never have thought that you would call somebody and see, if you're watching Sesame Street, you call them up and you tell Oscar the Grouch you don't like him. What? I don't understand that. I don't understand. But I just had to throw that out there because I just think that's so funny. So all of you haters, just keep watching me. That's all I really care about.
And hit that like button while you're at it.
Yeah, and subscribe.
You got it, Kevin.
Yeah.
I hate you.
I'm going to subscribe so I don't miss any of it.
Yep, it's pretty funny. My buddy, my producer, my pal, the guy that helped build me to where I'm at today, him and I were just blown away by this people today that think that because I give my phone number out there, I want you to call me and tell me how much you don't like me. You got nothing else to do but call somebody you don't like and tell them that you don't like them. You think I care? Do you think I care? I don't need any more friends. I really don't. I got so many flipping friends, and I'm an old man. So your friendship, if you do become my friend, it's going to be limited to the time we spend together because I'm about to die.
Don't say that.
Well, it is a blip.
I'm closer to the death than I am to life. I'll promise you that. I made sure of that by all the things I've done.
Maybe you do have a little military dark humor in you.
Maybe. Well, let's get back into this fun stuff that we're talking with Kevin about, Dave. And for me and Dave Bacon, because we're coming from the same world, kind of, the stuff that Kevin's done, but he's willing to give back is kind of the world that Dave and I live in, right, Dave Bacon?
Oh, it is. And it always feels so good to see somebody younger than you and I, Captain Dave, do exactly that. So, my hat's off to you, Kevin.
Well, I appreciate it. And it's one of those where, I've been through the mental depths. I've been through the darkness, and I've experienced this thing called fishing that has brought light again. And if I can be even just the little spark that gives that light to somebody else, I couldn't ask for anything better.
No, that's just the best. And the way you're going to explain it again, because now we have a lot more people watching than when we first started, is there's so many people that are that close to just, and if you got involved with what Kevin's doing and you got involved with what Tiffany's doing, and it just kind of releases your mind from all the garbage that we get fed on a daily basis. You get fed so much crap that makes you want to be negative that you have to filter it out, and it's scary. I mean, I'm just going to say, me and Kelly, we did a thing where we watched 5 different news channels in about a half an hour, 45 minutes. And there wasn't a 1 minute span that went by that the word Trump wasn't mentioned. What are we doing? What are we doing? This guy, whether you like him or not, he takes over all news. All news. It's just I've never seen it before. Dave Bacon, have you ever seen this before in our short little time on this planet? One human being takes over all the news.
I've seen it for very short periods of time when there's like a wave of interest or resentment or whatever, but not like this. Not like this. And it's whether people are adamantly against him or adamantly for him, it's still kind of an all-consuming thing. And I'm going to call that leadership.
Right. I'm sorry, folks, what side you're on. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing that one human being commands this much of our life. So can you help us out, Kevin, with what we can do to kind of get off of this and get into this fly fishing thing's my zen. That is my zen. Tying a fly, getting out in the river and catching a fish. That's my zen.
Yeah, I was just going to say, turn the TV off and go fishing. I mean, in all seriousness, though, there is something very real about being in nature, whether it be off the coast in the ocean or in my world in the creeks. I mean, there's just fish don't live in ugly places. They just don't. And when you're out fishing, you are out in those beautiful places. And I think if we could get more people to experience really the beauty of fishing, there would be so much less stress in the world. And specifically within, fly tying and rod building, because it gives you something to focus on. And again, for me, fly tying and rod building, that's my mission now. I'm no longer preparing guys to go kick doors in or go raid this building. I'm preparing to go out in nature and try to figure out nature. And so by fly tying and then now building my own rods to throw those flies, I'm taking 100% ownership of that.
ZHB64.
Because now, oh, well, this fly wasn't tied right or it doesn't look good. Well, guess what, buddy? You tied it. Or, well, this rod doesn't work very well. I don't like how it casts. Well, guess what, buddy? You made it. So now it's all on me, and I get to take ownership of, and for me, I'm one of those that maybe it's because of my Intel background and just being a nerd at heart, but I love constantly learning. So for me, my quote unquote failures are some of my best days because that's when I go learn what didn't work. Because sometimes why things work, I mean, if I would pull up some of these flies, you're going to look at it and go, why in the world would a fish ever think that is something to go after? And so it's more figuring out what doesn't work and why it doesn't work is a whole nother challenge that I love of it. But I think going back to getting your mind out of the world, because of my former military job, I was constantly in on the news, constantly reading all the the classified material on the worst that humanity had to offer, and that plays a toll on you mentally. And when you step away from the TV, you step away from whatever else, and you just go spend, even if it's 5 minutes, go touch grass, go touch water, go outside and experience nature, and you will start to feel your mind just kind of go to its I'm supposed to be in nature. I'm in my default environment. This is happiness.
Kevin, we got somebody that's asking what your biggest largemouth is on your fly rods.
Biggest on fly rod, I've snagged a 3-pounder, and that was on a lake, which is kind of a trophy for my area. 3 to 5 pounds is like trophy area for largemouth bass where I'm at. But I live 2 minutes from public access on one of the main rivers through Indiana. I can go pull 1 and 2 pounders out of that river or the creeks going in and out of it all day long. On what I'd call conventional gear, so casting or spinning, I pulled out a 7-pounder. So my overall personal best bass is 7 pounds. On fly rod, 3.
Awesome.
Yeah, you know how I like to fish largemouth? With goldfish.
There you go. Maybe I'll have to figure out a pattern for that. I'll tie you a goldfish fly and mail it out to you.
Live bait.
There you go.
You nose hook a goldfish and throw them out there on 4-pound and hang on, baby. There's nothing better. It's totally illegal. Don't follow me into the lake, but yeah. My kids, when they were little, they did
sending you a fly.
and Steve Lasley told me a long time ago, illegal is just a sick bird. So
I like that.
Yeah, thank you. So but going back to what you were talking about, the fly tying, the thing, the organization that you're working with hand in hand to help our vets to get to the other side, to get a better life, to think about this and how you can get involved in it. And it's all over, right?
Yeah, so it's the organization is called Project Healing Waters Fly Fishing, and it's a national organization. I want to say there's chapters in every state, but you just go on to, and while I'm sitting here, I'll pull it up so I don't misspeak. But I want to say that it is phwff.com. But that's how you find it, and there's a link on there that says find a chapter, and you either just email or call the person and say, hey, I'm interested. And the really cool thing is you don't need any gear, especially when you first get started. They have rods, they have flies, they have mentors to teach you what you're doing. I'm very blessed in my chapter that there's an organization of fly fishers, and I've got 2 certified casting instructors in my local chapter. And in fact, what I'm calling my favorite rod for now, because my favorite rod really is the next one I'm going to build, but the favorite rod I've built now is for me to work on becoming a certified casting instructor and go through that curriculum. But excuse me, Project Healing Waters, I cannot say enough of what they do, and it's to all veterans. You don't have to have any service connected disability anymore. It's all veterans are welcome to participate. And I've had some really incredible experiences. Again, I live in the kind of the Indianapolis area. I got to go up to Michigan. I've been out to Pennsylvania to do steelhead fishing, all on Project Healing Waters dime. And they've got several what would you call them? Not resorts, lodges. And one's in Montana and another is in Michigan, and they bring veterans together so that we can find that camaraderie that we can't find anywhere else outside of the military. There's just a very special bond that you get when you live, eat, sleep, train, deploy, to have something that you can get that mindset together again with people of like-minded ideas during an activity that helps shut out all the negative. I wouldn't be here without it. So I can't sing its praises enough. And again, it's free to veterans. You don't have to pay anything to be involved. And and I love it.
And I hope that there's some veterans that are sitting here today that are listening to what Kevin has to say, because this life and death thing that you guys are going through on a daily basis, it doesn't have to be that. It really doesn't. And there's people out there that want to help you. I want to help. Dave Bacon wants to help. Tiffany wants to help. Kevin especially wants to help because he's got a vested interest in you making it, and we want you to make it, and we care a ton about our vets, and you guys have changed the world, whether you know it or not, and you've made it a better place for all of us to live in. So I thank you all, and please pick up the telephone, call me, call Kevin, call Dave Bacon, call Tiffany, call somebody. Just call somebody. It's way easier than picking that thing up and doing how many people a day?
The number that's out there is 22 a day.
A day.
I've heard that's higher now.
Oh yeah, that's just the reported ones.
Yeah. And I would much rather you call me and we cry, yell, scream, whatever on the phone or together than me carry your casket. I've been to enough funerals. I don't want to go to another one anytime soon. And
you know what's amazing to me is it's all fishing. Dave Bacon, we got to keep, those of you that are just watching and you're not really understanding what we're saying, fishing has saved so many people's lives. Michael Folks talks about it on the history of sport fishing. We talk about how our forefathers founded this country on the backs of a fishing club where they could have been killed if they were known what they were doing. There are so many entities out there in the United States of America that want to end this fishing. They don't want you to fish. They don't want you to fish at all anywhere. So remember that when you're talking, I got to stand in the gap. I got to join CCA. I've got to show up to the meetings. I've got to be involved. It's just like being involved in saving your life. We're saving people's lives, saving fishing. And Kevin, Mike Lewis, who is a war hero and a great American and a great human being, and he's a big follower, and he's a buddy of mine, and he's been to my house, and he's shared food with me. He wants to make sure that we help all the veterans because he's a veteran. Say the name of the organization again, please.
Yeah, it's Project Healing Waters. PHWFF. Project Healing Waters.
Yeah, there you go, gang. And Tiffany and Dave and I are going to be, listen to this. Hey, everybody. Captain Dave Hansen here from Your Saltwater Guide. I've got something big to share with you guys. I love boating, fishing, and being out on the water in the great outdoors. You're going to want to listen to this. The California International Boat Show and Outdoor Adventure Show is coming to the Anaheim Convention Center from April 9th through the 12th. And this thing is going to be huge. It's packed with boats, gear, outdoor rigs, travel ideas, and everything that makes California lifestyle what it is. If you're thinking about upgrading to a boat, tow package, overland rig, learning something new, or checking out what's happening in the world, this is the show you need to be at. I will be at the California International Boat Show and on Thursday, October 9th, leading a live session all about fishing smarter from your boat. I'm breaking down the exact tips and techniques that you need to catch more fish on your private boat. Tiffany's going to be at the show showing off her rods. Dave Bacon's going to be at the show doing seminars. And
Kevin's going to be at the show too.
So that's what I was trying to say. So many of Tiffany's students are going to be there showing off their wares, and you're going to get to meet Kevin, and you're going to get to shake his hand, and you're going to get to touch some of the rods that he's put together. And we all hope that you make it and you show up at the show and you're there for us because we'll be there for you.
Yeah, definitely very much looking forward to that. And, that's an opportunity for me to learn so much more about a side of fishing that is so new to me as the saltwater side of things. I'm super excited to be out there and be there with you guys and anyone that's, regular of the show. And I look forward to meeting a lot of people.
My little monkey's right here.
There he is.
There's my little buddy hanging out, huh? You're hanging out, right? Yeah. There you go. All right. So that's going to be a fun show. Starting off, though, gang, Dave Bacon, Tiffany, and I are going to be at the PCS show, Orange County #1 fishing, tackle, and boat show, and it's going to be at the Orange County Fairgrounds. That's going to kick off the trade show thing for the sport fishermen in Southern California. That's going to be at the Orange County Fairgrounds on the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th of March. And then we roll right into the California International Boat Show in April. So there's going to be tons of fishing stuff to talk about and tons of camaraderie. I want to say one more thing. At the Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Festival at the Orange County Fairgrounds on Saturday, the 7th, we are going to have a fan appreciation day. When the show is over, we're going to simply walk out in the back of the show, and Captain Al Clowers will be there. We'll have the barbecues going. We're feeding you. We're drinking you. Everything's going to be supplied by Your Saltwater Guide. Come, everybody. You don't have to be a member of the website, but you do have to be involved in the fishing industry to come and have fun with us because we're all going to be talking fishing. It's going to be a spectacular event. I'm super excited about what's coming up this year, and I'm super excited to meet Kevin at the California International Boat Show and see all the rods that Tiffany's built. It's going to be insane. Go ahead.
Jeff asked what if Lisa was a good student of mine. Absolutely. Lisa's phenomenal.
Lisa brings character.
Oh, yes.
Somehow she puts that character into her rods, She is phenomenal.
I was blown away when she sent me the video 2 months ago of the diamond wrap that she had already done. What? You're teaching? How did that was blowing me up my mind. I don't even know how to wrap a guide on a rod, and she's already doing diamond wrapping. She's got it. She owns it. She's in it. It's going to be cool to see everybody showing up there. And oh my God, can you imagine if you guys were at the trade show and you sold some of the rods you made? Holy
that is what I look forward to, because every time we have the shows that we do this type of stuff and the students selling their rods, that is what I like to watch and see, is somebody walking off with their prized possession.
Well, your dad, he blew my mind talking about it in the very beginning stages of this, as how you're right on the brink of creating a business by making rods. And I'm like, wow, that is actually.
So many of her students are definitely starting businesses, or owning tackle shops and sending someone to the class who they want to become their number one custom rod builder. And it's not only Captain Davis, not only at the shows selling rods, but it's talking to people and putting the contact information out there. And a lot of people will start an ordering process at the shows when they want a custom rod or a set for their boat made by some of the people that Tiffany brings in to the shows.
Well, and I have to say, as someone in the class, and I think it was you, Captain Dave Bacon, that said it a couple weeks ago, that one cool thing about getting a custom rod, if it grows feet and someone else tries to walk away with it. But the other cool thing is, for me, when not to bad talk, but when you get a big production, one of the main, big companies, they all look the same. And when you get into building your rod, and as you mentioned with Lisa bringing in personality, you get to make your rod represent you.
Yep.
And to be able to say, this rod looks like my personality, this rod was either made for me, or I made this rod for me because this is how I want it to look. Such a cool thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a phenomenal thing. Gang, I hope you all took to heart what Kevin had to say today, and you guys understand what's going on in the world, because it's super important. And you could save a life simply by just picking up the phone and listening. So I want to thank Tiffany and Dave, and I want to especially thank Kevin for being with us today. And I want you to come back on the show as much as you want to come on the show, Kev, because you bring you got a cool voice, first of all, way better than mine. And it's just fun to listen to you talk and share your experience, strength, and hope with all our members.
Well, I definitely appreciate the invite, and I've had a blast talking with you guys today. And if I may do a little self-plug here, for especially veterans, if you're going through a hard time, or anyone that's listening that has fly fishing questions or anything like that, feel free to reach out to me at Libertas Rods, which is kind of a play to veterans. Libertas is Latin for freedom or liberty. Feel free to look me up on Instagram or Facebook. I'm more than happy to talk to anybody and everybody. And because I'm in Tiffany's class, it's she's the one that convinced me to make a business out of it. So I'm just starting out. So if you reach out to me now, you hit me on the ground floor. But again, thank you so much for the invite and the conversation. And I had a really good time. Thank you.
Absolutely. Gang, I want you to know tomorrow show will be with Sherry Bondi. She has a fishing lodge in Ascension Bay in Baja, California, about halfway down the Baja. You drive to it. She's got a ton of stuff to share with us tomorrow, so make sure you join us at 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. We do this show 5 days a week, 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, bring in some of the biggest names in the industry. I'm excited to have Sherry on here because she hasn't been on the show yet. I know it's just the beginning of a great friendship, but we're going to see what she has to offer tomorrow. Ascension Bay sounds like a great place to fish. She'll give us a little insight on Mikey. She was kind of running the whole, she was point for all of us on the Mikey thing. We won't really spend a lot of time focused on that. I want more time focused on her great resort and what she's doing for everybody in the fishing world. So thank you all very, very much. I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, wait, no. We're going live tonight. Justin's fishing at Catalina live tonight. So we're going to be back with you. We're going to be back with you in a couple of hours so you guys can all watch the person you hate. All right? I'll be back with you in a couple hours. See you later, Dave Bacon, Tiff